All right, Ed, let's get cracking. All right, so today, this is a part of
Okay,
our speaker series, our summer speakers, or summer series for speakers on how to land more paid engagements at associations. And today we're going to be talking about editors. Going live now, by the way. All right, so I've now just put on my, you're not going to be hearing any remote stuff from the actual broadcast. Now we can just talk. So let's
okay, very
start
good.
off with authority and through the editors.
Well, Aidan, we've talked ad nauseum about the fact that associations are the gateway to corporations. And, that we've talked a lot about that associations are not the finish line, associations are the gateway, associations are the beginning. So every speaker would like to have lots of clients, corporate clients, as well as speaking at association gigs. So if we think about the basic idea, I'm going to use an association as the gateway to an industry, to other associations in that industry, to corporations in that industry. If I speak at an association meeting, who's going to be there? The corporate buyers, the corporate decision makers, the corporate leaders. So the challenge that I think a lot of speakers have is they don't know how to they do their search whatever way they do their search, but they're not always finding the decision maker at an association. And so, I can tell you, in early in my career, I wasted a lot of time bouncing around, sending out speaker packets to people that didn't make decisions. And so, my advice to speakers that want to accelerate their effectiveness and want to accelerate the results is actually get on the phone and call association editors. Okay, if you try to call an association meeting planner, executive directory, chances are slim to none that you probably get through to them. However, if you call an association editor, you had a pretty decent chance. When I say editor, the publications editor, director of publications, it might be a Marcom person, it might be direct, but you get into an association to an editor for two key reasons. The first reason is what you want to do is you want to build a relationship with that editor, making relationship bank deposits, we'll talk about in just a minute, to then ask for a relationship bank withdrawal from that editor by asking him, who is the real decision maker? So it really does select speakers because that way you can ask them to connect you to that person. Or if they refuse to do that, at least now you know who to go after and not spin your wheels going after the wrong people. So you want to use the editor for that, but also you want to use the editor, the relationship bank deposits that you're going to make are making your articles on your unique approach to your topic available to these editors. And with the advent of AI, you can take an article you wrote 10 years ago that's a good article, and in a minute and a half, 5 minutes, whatever, you can have that customized to that industry. And what you want to do is give editors your articles and tell editors, hey, I've got an article bank at my website, and for everybody, if you have a blog, go and change it to article bank. And I've got an article bank at my website, and I mean, for me, I've got a couple hundred articles there. And you can grab any article anytime you want and publish it. Also, there's permission to edit. There's permission for reasonable edit. And I always get editors go, what's reasonable edit? And I go, I don't know, whatever you think it means. And so that way they can grab, it's not really. And
Yeah.
and I've got, okay, all of my article titles have the word count. So if an editor is looking for a 700 word article and they go to my website and they find an 800 word article, they know they can edit. Editors are better writers than me anyway. They can cut 100 words of fat out and bam, they've got an article. Or let them know I'll be happy to customize it myself for your industry. But the idea is I want to build relationships with editors Again, for those two reasons. One, so they'd be willing to tell me the truth on who the decision maker is for selecting speakers and help me connect to that person. That's an important thing. So I'm not spinning my wheels. And also, I want them to start using my articles because speakers can either gig chase, go after gigs in every industry in the world, or they can try to focus on one or two or three industries. And if that editor likes what I'm doing and they start publishing my work, then I can leverage those published articles to other associations in related industries to number one, say, get a hold of those editors. Hey, I had this article published in ABC Magazine, which is related to them. I'd like to talk to you about getting some of my articles published, help you out. And then again, same story. And while we're talking, could you tell me who the decision maker is? So it becomes this snowball in a very positive direction. And we're building momentum and we're moving from being just simply a subject matter expert on our topic, we're moving toward authority. And the more and more in industry, different associations, this, that, and the other, whether it be maybe we do a free webinar, I don't know. Maybe we're at their meeting, maybe we do a breakout, then maybe next time a keynote, articles, all of this, it starts building our authority. And it may take 10 years, but think about it. If you've been building authority for 10 years, now you're a thought leader.
Well,
Now they're calling you. You're not calling them.
so one of the things that I've seen with especially article submissions, they're always asking for original article submissions. Has this been published anywhere else? And one of the ways that I've been telling people to get around that is to actually take the article that you published 10 years ago that you want to submit, and they're saying, I want an original article. And you can actually go to ChatGPT or Claude or whatever LLM you're using, and you can say, this is an art. Find me the top three challenges of members in this association. How would I rewrite this article
Yeah,
to answer some of those challenges? And now you get a
absolutely.
completely customized article for that association,
Yeah.
even though the core concepts are the same. And that goes to when people used to say to me, I want an original article. It's like, all I'm doing is rewriting the same stuff that's up here in different
Yeah.
ways. And so just giving an AI the context of this is the association. What are the top three challenges of people in this association? How would that impact how this article is structured and the information in it? It'll rewrite your article for you. And then you can
Well,
go
I
ahead.
think I think you want to do all the above, Aidan. I think you're absolutely right. You want to do all the above. If I've over the years, I've probably only had 10% of the editors I've communicated with want original articles. That's just been my track record over 35 years. And if they do, that's exactly how you do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect. But the idea is let's figure out any way that I can be of help to that editor. And kind of a joke I'll usually put out there to editors when I'm chatting with them. I go, listen, hold on. Go. The reason I have my articles at my website for you is they're there 24/7 for you. And I say to an editor, I go, I don't know if you've ever had this problem where a member promised an article and they didn't come through. And then it's always a joke. Yeah, that hasn't happened since yesterday. So they because the editors understand that I understand their life, that it's like, yeah, that is a problem. And go, here's my article bank. You can grab any article anytime you want, solve your problem 24/7 in an instant. And because I give you permission to edit, you can make some adjustments. And I find a lot of editors appreciate that because not only can we give them original, yes, absolutely, and we can be their saving grace that when they need something quick, we're there. And I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody contact me over the years. Oh, I saw your article in ABC Magazine. I go, oh, great. And they go, yeah, we want to have you come in and speak on that topic. Great. Now, when they told me ABC article, I never gave ABC Association my article.
You
They
just
got
found
it from a website. So apparently some editor was in dire need. So what I'm trying to throw out is an all-encompassing plan to push hard in a particular industry. And I think that speakers should be working hard on, you know, only a handful, a small handful. I like to say three, but a small handful of industries build authority in each of these industries. And the article publishing is a way that they can do it. And it's going to give you the benefit of talking to the editor, finding the true decision maker, which is absolutely the number one thing you want to do. And then secondarily, start working on building authority in that industry through your article being published. And the funny thing is, in any industry, members in an association, maybe they've been reading articles of yours or mine or the next person that have been published for the last 3, 4, 5 years. And all of a sudden now they're in a position of power. Now they're the chair, or now they're the director of the conference. And all of a sudden they've been reading my articles for 5 years. Come on, they're gonna, yeah, I mean, I'm high on the consideration list. So I think that getting people to think about, okay, question number one, do you want a gig chase? And if you want to gig chase, that's okay. But remember, every year you're going to have to be doing at minimum the same amount of sales and marketing you did the year before.
Well, one of the people you and I both know is Jim Feldman, who's like embraced the whole article thing. Like he is, so his the industries he looks at are tourism and travel, tourism and hospitality. That's kind of his bailiwick. And so he's actually got a quarterly article in four of the industry magazines. So he's building that authority, and he started a LinkedIn newsletter as well to kind of keep that content out there, just to building that authority. And I totally agree. Just getting that authority established by having those articles. I mean, you don't even know who's publishing the articles a lot of times. Like one of the things I try and tell people is, and if you don't have one of my AIs, don't worry about it. If you're not in the ASSC, don't worry about it this very second. But if you're we encourage people to submit 5 articles a day, right? It's part of the 5-5-5-5 method. That's 100 articles a month that you're sending to associations. 80% of those people will never get back to you. 20% that do get back to you, half of them don't pay. It doesn't matter. There's a good chance that of those 80% that never get back to you, they're still going to publish your article. All of a sudden, you've got your content and your knowledge is showing up in magazines and blogs all over the internet in different contexts that will just give you that authority. So when it's like when somebody does even a Google search, if Ed, you apply for a gig and I'm a meeting planner, I want to know who's this guy who just applied. So I type your name into Google, all those articles that you've been published in all these different magazines, they're going to show up. It's like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. So there's that credibility. Like a lot of times I say I don't even care if my article gets published or not, doesn't even matter. The only reason I'm giving it in there is so I can get access to the decision maker. But I'm gonna let them know that I gave them an article, give them something of value. But yeah, I think that's exactly the way to do it. Your article's out there, it's building your authority in ways that you don't even really understand. If the article's being published and you're showing up on Google for when somebody types in your name at 20 different magazines, like this guy knows what he's talking about. He is an authority.
Building authority in a particular industry, it's like compounding interest. It just keeps growing. Every relationship bank deposit that you make to that industry, every contribution to that industry, it's compounding authority as opposed to bouncing around all over the place. And if somebody bounces around all over the place, before they do their speaking engagement, yeah, they can do AI research and get a little information. But just think if you're the person that's been working in that industry for the last 5 years, 10 years, you have certain insights that the speaker new to that industry doesn't have. You have the ability to have different conversations, to have different perspectives on where the future is going. And all of a sudden, you start becoming more than just a speaker. that they hire to fill a slot at this meeting for this conference. All of a sudden, you start becoming an authority in the industry, and all of those relationship bank deposits you make, think about it as compounding interest. And and look, if you're the kind of speaker and you love speakers bureaus and you want to go speak anywhere, everywhere, and you want to take your same story everywhere and have three little sections where you customize, great, God bless you, go for it. But you and I know a lot of people in our business that was their plan for 20 years, and things changed. And I'm not going to mention names, but you know them too. And all of a sudden they're sitting there going, "Oh, oh, you got no business," because the industry left them. But in contrast, people that just keep pounding away in a handful of industries and keep growing their knowledge, keep making the relationship bank deposits, not only will they still be relevant, but those people, they hear of and know of opportunities before even the speakers bureaus
Well,
know or hear of them.
I was going to say that because when you're doing, like I've said this before, that most people, 90% of us do 90% of the same things. And it's the things that we do on the margins that really separate us from our competition. And like submitting the articles, going through the editor, that's definitely the way to do it. Like it definitely, and it also, especially when you give them access to your article bank and say, at any point you can grab an article, you're becoming a partner rather than just a vendor. Like you're rising yourself above everybody else and what you're willing to do. And let's think about human nature. We want to work with people similar to like when we want to buy from people that we know, like, and trust. We don't want to work with prima donnas. We don't want to work with jerks. We don't want to, like, if I'm a meeting planner, I want my life to be easy. I don't want it to be hard. And when I know that Ed's giving me articles, I know that he's now supporting the the event that we're trying to put on. I know he's going to put in the effort. He's not going to be somebody that's just there to collect the check and then start making stupid demands of me as we get closer to the date. I want somebody that is easy to work with and is going to deliver value to my members. And how do I demonstrate that? I give them something right away that shows that I've taken the time to understand what their challenges are. How can they be solved? I'm not giving the same rote speech. I'm here to help you accomplish what the theme of your event is. And I think that's the only way to really separate yourself from the 100 or 200 emails they got from other speakers that day. There's my rant.
And when you do that, then I can demand that they have a bowl of green jelly beans on the lectern when I speak.
Or else you wreck the green room. I know that's exactly the way it works. I'm the same way.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But it's just of all the interviews that we have in the ASSC vault of decision makers, the interviews I've done, they've all kind of said something similar around, I need speakers that I can depend on, that'll get the marketing material to me when I want it, that'll get the bio to me when I want it, that'll get the PowerPoint, whatever, handout to me when I want it. So I'm not being held up. And the thing is, your reputation follows you. So if you are a prima donna speaker, everybody's going to know about it. But if you're the kind of speaker that people can depend on, that you're a partner, then everybody's going to know that too. And more meeting decision makers will want to bring in somebody that's partner that they know will do what they're supposed to do, as opposed to a prima donna that they know is like, oh my God, yeah, person's got a great
He's,
name, but
he's
they're such
great,
a
but
pain
he's
in
a
the ass.
pain to work with. Yeah. But
Yeah.
if you're demonstrating that you're a partner and a contributor and you're really invested in them, it also makes you very easy to refer, especially if you're at the national level and you're dependent on the decision maker to refer you to the decision maker at the state level. And
Mhm.
if you're a pain in the ass at the national, you're not going to get those referrals. And they're going to be like, why are they not answering my phone calls anymore? After they said I gave a great speech. It's like, maybe it just weren't very pleasant to work with. And you may be great on the stage, but these guys are seeing something that they don't want to introduce you to the state chapters for a reason.
Yeah.
What is that
Well,
reason?
and the state chapters is that's an awesome topic that you brought up. That because not all but many national associations have chapters, and if you're getting known either from chapters working your way up to national or national working your way into the chapters, it doesn't matter. Either direction is totally fine. But I mean, that's the interesting thing that if you're making contributions to an industry, not only if you get to speak at an association's annual meeting, as an example, there's going to be other executive directors from other related industry associations there. There's probably going to be executive directors from many state chapters of that industry and or possibly other related industries there. So not only are you going to be speaking to potential corporate clients, meaning the members that are in the room, but there's a lot of leverage on other people. And one of the other things that those most of those association decision makers told me, it's like, we'd like to pick somebody that we know or we've heard about or we've been recommended to. Well, if you're speaking at a conference, you do a great job. There's going to be other executive directors from related industries that see you, that's probably going to invite you into their association. And to where, I mean, that yeah, you just think I can keep working hard on making contributions in this industry, building authority in this industry, bouncing around to different chapters and nationals in this industry, this association, and related. And it just, like I said, it's a very positive snowball growth. And, you know, after you've been doing that for 10 years, that industry sees you as a thought leader. And once that industry sees you as a thought leader, you move from somebody trying to get business to the person that they just invite because they know that you know their industry. They know that you're the type of person that they want to bring in. They know that you have the kind of insights. I mean, anybody can look at information in an industry, but not everybody can digest it and make sense of it. Not everybody can tell you where the industry's, probably going to go or what these things mean. But a speaker, a consultant, whatever we want to call ourselves, we've constantly been working in an industry for several years. You have new methods of insight because the people in the industry, the people that work in the industry, they're working in the industry and they're working on the information within their industry, but you're pertaining to their company or their association, but you're now working at a higher level to where you have all of this information all around and you start being able to see patterns and connecting the dots that people that don't study the industry like you do. That's where you move from subject matter expert to authority to thought leader. And once you've been a thought leader for a while, you own the industry.
Ooh, I love it. I think that's probably a good place to stop. I love that we're all this from an article. That's it. Like really, well, if you're taking anything away from today's little talk, start writing those articles, guys. Like even just upload your book to one of the LLMs. Ask
Yeah.
for article
Yeah.
suggestions for the groups you want to speak to. Like Ed said, pick three industries. So choose your three industries. Upload your book and say, give me 10 articles that will be that will drive action within the pharmaceutical industry. Right? It'll give you article ideas from your book for the pharmaceutical industry that will drive action, which is helping you again propel your career as a thought leader and not just somebody who's going to be giving a rote speech that you've given 100 times before. So, all right, Ed, thanks very much, guys. If you have not considered the ASSC, it's probably a good time to check it out. Speakercommunity.org. We're focused on revenue, guys. We're not focused on your TEDx. So if you want to be a speaker who actually has a career and a business, that's our topic and
It's our goal.
that's our goal. help everybody make it money.
And our goal is really not to teach people how to become speakers. Our goal is to take speakers that are already speakers and really help you
Elevate.
push your way into the associations, which are the gateway to the corporations. And if you want access to Aidan and I, join the ASSC and that'll give you access.
It's not difficult, guys, but it is work, and we'll show you how to do it. There you go. All right, Ed. Thanks very much,
Thank
guys.
you.
See you same time next week. We're going to do this every week throughout the summer. So next Wednesday at 1:30 Eastern, whatever time that is in Pacific, we will be here, and we will have it hopefully stream on time next week. So we will figure it out. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye, guys. And let me just clear this. And stop streaming. Stop.
Probably stop the recording also.
Yeah.
Probably don't need to record anymore.